Yeah, buddy. It's going. You can join me over here. We can share this microphone of love and joy. This microphone of passion. This microphone that makes you feel good inside. And for that, welcome everybody to the Valentine's Day Faces of Fear podcast. I am your Cupid, J.K. Klein. I was about to say cubic meat. I am J.K. Klein. And I got a jam-packed, stellar, lovely group with us tonight. Talking all about love. Talking all about Cupid. And talking all about, well, I Spit on Your Grave.
What a lovely title.
A lovely title. And it all just makes Valentine's Day that more exciting. Don't you guys think? Our first guest over here is a rarity one. She was on one episode of Faces of Fear podcast back in last year.
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, technically it was last year, so it's all good. So we got the groover herself, all right? The Melissa Tucker, the one that make all the men go crazy. Yeah, they all go crazy for it.
Oh my lord.
The
tambourine shaking.
The tambourine shaking. Cupid slaying. Backup vocals singing. Shaking, rattling, and rolling going on there.
I put Esmeralda to shame.
Happy Valentine's Day, because that's when this podcast is coming out on Valentine's Day. Then we have Cupid himself, the fluffer. The blood-bearded man himself on here talking, I Spit on Your Grave. And, of course, hanging off me is none other than the hot, the sexual. No.
Should I be in this room?
Beth, yeah, brother. Happy Valentine's Day, baby. What's up, everybody? This is Faces of Fear. We're all talking about Valentine's Day. And we're going to be going over the original I Spit on Your Grave, which is a very woman-empowering movie, but it's also pretty fucked up at the same time. So, and we're going over the old one. Matt, try not to read too much into the mic.
Oh, sorry.
You'll be all right after that. Hey, can somebody pass me the cover to the DVD, to the movie? Damn, bro, you look like you're about to...
It was on this table before.
Shit, where'd it go?
It was like
oh, yeah, there it is under the gift. Alright, so let me give you guys some little insight. What are you, Jabba the Hutt over there? Calm the fuck down.
Fuck you, because this guy's things on.
So the original I Spit on Your Grave, we got the uncut, uncensored, and still unpredicted. That's what the title said. But the original title of this movie, before it was called I Spit on Your Grave, it was actually called Day of the Woman. Alright? So that's why I decided to pick this movie for Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is all about Day of the Woman. Day of the Woman. So before we start getting into this movie, I want to see what's going on with everybody nowadays. How's everybody's year going so far? Anything crazy going down? Got any Valentine's Day plans? Got any ghost tours? You guys playing any shows? What's going down? Melissa, what's going down? You guys playing any shows?
Yeah, we're playing a show with Jibe. I forgot the date, actually, but
okay. We'll check that out.
I'm always bad with dates, but
knowing that, it'll probably be after this podcast has come out. That's when you've already played your show, probably.
That's how that is true. Yeah, it's gonna be before February.
Before February. That's all good. Matt Bloodbeard Show. So, we're trying to make it like a Valentine's theme for this particular podcast. So I thought we can maybe go around the room and say one of our most embarrassing date stories or something. I know Ari's got one.
Ooh,
What?
I don't know. I want to.
You don't have to say all kinds of crazy stuff, but just some weird person you met.
Just like the date?
Yeah, just a date. Not you don't have to get into anything sexual, brother. Calm down there.
I wouldn't know.
All right. But it's like, maybe you pick somebody up, they looked at you funny, and you just dropped them off or something at the job or something. Does anybody have any stories that they would like to share?
I have one like that. It might take a couple of minutes.
How long? Okay.
Let's hear it.
Did you just drop somebody off? Let's go.
Not
You go
exactly.
first, Beth, and I'll go after mine.
Well, there was this guy that I dated for a little while. But our first date was very awkward because, well, he was about to be a cop. He was in the police academy.
That's always fun.
And, I know this is going to sound really stupid, but he wanted to try out his handcuffs on me and show me how they worked or something. And he going to demonstrate on me how to take someone down.
Well,
But there was a malfunction.
Handcuffs?
There was a malfunction on them, and he was trying to get them off, and the little key broke off inside of it, and then they were stuck.
Oh my
And
God.
we started freaking out like really bad. And he didn't want to tell his I forgot what they're called, the people over him, because I think he could get in trouble if they knew he did this, and he was just in the academy, and he didn't want to be embarrassed. I'm pretty sure that's the main reason he didn't want everybody making
this
fun
was
of
your
him.
first date?
Yeah.
Holy
That's
shit.
horrible.
I know. It
That's
gets
like
worse.
the worst thing.
Wait a
Okay,
minute,
let's
it
hear
gets
let's hear
worse. It gets worse. So we went to. Actually, I don't know if I'm not gonna name what fire department it was. You could probably guess.
We could be all.
You can guess real easy, but don't say it, okay?
We can all just have it to our imagination.
So we went to a fire department, and this was pretty late at night by this time because we were trying for a long time to get them off, and because we just thought they could help somehow. We didn't know what else. Actually, no, wait. First, we went to a gas station because he saw another cop there, and he didn't know this cop, so he wasn't as embarrassed to ask this someone he didn't know rather than the people that he worked for was, under. And this guy was cracking up, laughing, and told him to go to the fire department. So we went there, and it was probably like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was really late. And I made him go knock on the door or whatever. I don't remember. He got a hold of someone. He got a hold of one of them and woke them up. And that guy thought it was so funny that he went and woke everyone up inside the department. And they all came out.
Holy shit.
They all came out to help, even though they weren't needed. And they came out with this huge pair of, like, bolt cutters. This big, huge thing.
Damn.
And I was freaking out.
Are they gonna cut off your
Because-
hands?
Also, when we were trying to get them off, they got too tight. And so they were, like, really tight on my wrist. So it was kind of hurting. But they used this big old bolt cutter thing, and they cut them off. And I was like, this thing was big, so I thought, like, my wrist is going to get cut off or something.
Jesus.
But they got him off, and they all were pretty amused by the whole thing.
That is so embarrassing.
Wow.
My
And
God.
that was
so
the most one of the
awful.
most
That's just-
embarrassing
that's
things
horrible.
that has ever
Did someone
happened.
at least give you a hug at the end of that?
I don't know. It was it was awkward, and
And
it
you
was
kept
one of-
dating this person?
It was okay for a while.
Until
I know until he was really embarrassed. Like he was really embarrassed. I was embarrassed because I'm the one that has them on, and it looks like something.
He was
else
trying to,
going
yeah,
on.
he was trying to do something.
It really
oh my
looked
Lord.
bad.
Oh my God. I am so sorry, Beth. Wow.
You kinky people out
was
there.
So yeah, that was probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened.
That's funny.
That is intense. I have nothing that is remotely near that.
The only close one I have is I had to drive out to Fort Worth one time and pick up a blind date. And we all have had blind dates here. We're all older. And I had to pick up this blind date, and she was in my car and everything. And basically the whole time, she would just wanted to sleep. Like, she was just like, I get no sleep. So she just, like, would pass out in my car. I'm like, okay, well, we're supposed to, like, we're actually, like, supposed to do things. She's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to catch some Z's before we do it. So we get to the place. I had to, like, wake her up. And then we walk around Fort Worth. We were supposed to go see this movie. But she's like, oh, I don't want to go see a movie. So we go into the Barnes & Nobles. And she just takes me to the children's section. She tells me to read her this book while she falls asleep. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This bitch is crazy.
Weird.
So then after the whole day, after I read her this book, and then she was actually kind of awake after then. I'm driving her home, and then what happens is she gets a phone call, and then she curls up like a little fucking fetus, right, into the car until I drop her off. So that is Cupid's magic at its finest, being some craziness. What about you guys? You guys got any crazy date stories?
There's gotta be something.
You know, the worst thing that ever happened to me is a guy ordered cheeseburger with extra onions at Sonic and then kissed me. So that's
What, randomly?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying we were on a date and then, he had all those onions. So you can imagine how wonderful that
so
was.
this motherfucker took you to Sonic on a first date?
Yeah.
Damn, Melissa.
And then he went to the gas station and got a jug of sangria.
Melissa Tucker, rock star over here. She loves Sonic. You know how to get with her now.
No, this was way before. I was 19. I didn't know anything.
Way back in the day.
And then there was another guy that had some serious smoky barbecue or something. We're talking nasty barbecue.
Damn,
and he kissed me. It was just dead cow.
Oh.
Dead cow smothered in sauce. It was awful.
No food kiss on that. Cupid,
Oh my God.
Cupid doesn't.
It was
He's not
so
working that day,
bad.
brother. You gotta be careful on that one.
Onions and dead cows.
Oh,
So that's
God.
the worst that ever happened to me, thank God.
Yeah. That's pretty wild stuff there. Well, we are starting out this Valentine's Day cubic. I can't even say it. Cubic. The cubic man. He's pretty dainty.
It's
Cupid. Cupid. Okay. He's trying to strike his love down on everybody. So and that's how it goes over here. So yeah, we got a little bit of the craziness. What about any kind of love stories out there? Before we get into this podcast about craziness, what's your kind of his favorite love story when it comes to a movie or a book or a tale? What do you guys think? Let's see.
I guess one of my favorite ones, it's actually from the 70s. I think it's from the 70s. It should be. But we were talking about earlier, Somewhere in Time. And it's super cheesy and, just over the top romantic. But I have to say, I did like the storyline of him going back in time. And just the sequence of events and how it happens. And it's a really good movie. I think they could have done it better. It has Christopher Plummer in it.
Oh, okay.
And
Never seen it.
yeah, Christopher Plummer, Christopher Reeve, and I can't remember her name. She's really pretty though. I should know her name, but yeah, that movie. It's
Nice.
time travel love.
My favorite
Sorry?
one is Ghost.
Ghost? Ghost what? Ghostbusters?
Just Ghost.
With Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Oh, okay. That's a love story?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy.
It's
I didn't
really
know
cute.
that. Wow, that's cute. Matt, I'm sure yours is Brokeback Mountain. He's like, wait, is it? It could be. So, do you have your favorite love story?
I want to just say Dracula, I think, is a really good.
That's a sexy one, yeah.
That is a really
Very
good
good.
love story.
It's one. It's very dark, but it's a really interesting.
And I will counteract your Dracula with Phantom of
I
the
knew you were
Opera.
gonna say that.
Oh, I was going to say that.
That's
I
true.
forgot
There's
about
another
that.
one.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of sexy, love, creepy.
Ooh, another
Nice
one. It
craziness
could
out
be
there.
the TV show Wicked City.
Wicked City 2. Yes, because we've been watching that a little bit, and too bad it ended. But the guy, obviously, he had a lot of crazy childhood because of his mom wanted to be such a big Hollywood star that she took too many drugs and stuff, and she wasn't necessarily ignoring her son, but the son loved her so much, but she didn't care about him too much. And he had undying love for her. And then from that, he wanted to be with her forever. So when he read Phantom of the Opera, when his teacher read Phantom of the Opera to him, he became obsessed with it. And then through there, he came to be killing women that he doesn't seem fit.
Damn.
So it's pretty crazy.
Another one is Will Graham and Hannibal.
Oh, the love couple of 2015. Oh, what a tragic ending
There
that
was
they
so
had.
much sexual tension between them two in the whole show.
It really was. And you know what? Those guys are made for each other, perfect for each other, but we still should have had the Silence of the Lambs part happen. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll happen one day, hopefully, out there, all the Hannibal lovers. But anyway, let's get into I Spit on Your Grave, a.k.a. Day of the Woman. And this is the original from 1978.
Take off your clothes.
I don't like women giving me orders.
I spit on your grave. What you are about to see did happen. I spit on your grave. This woman will soon cut, chop, break, and burn 5 men beyond recognition. And there isn't a jury in this country that will convict her.
I'll give you something to remember for the rest of your life.
I spit on your grave.
Relax.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make you feel like you've never felt before.
God bless your hands.
Wait till you feel this.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
No, not I spit on your grave.
Scared you, didn't I?
What do you want?
It's you I want.
Grave.
All right, so I'll start it off and you guys just counteract some stuff because I fell asleep during half of the movie. I was really, really tired. All right.
It happens.
I'll do my best. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
All right, so we start off the movie with the girl just driving around, getting her stuff packed in a very nice neighborhood. Do you guys remember what neighborhood that was? It looked like Chicago. No, she said it was New York.
City,
yeah, New York City.
Yeah.
So the whole story based on this girl that she's basically going out into the cabin woods to write stories because it's been known that if she just wants to get away from the big city, she just wants to get away from all the noise and all the panic and stuff, just to have a quiet nice little town to go to write her stories and relax. So that's her plan during this, but her plan is going to go not so good on this particular couple days. So she's driving through the town, and she stops at a gas station. All right, and then that's when we first meet one of the scumbags, I guess we can call him. And it's actually, this is old school time, so it's 1978. So they were filling up her car, and her whole car to fill it up was like $5 because all the gas is like 68 cents.
Yeah, 68 cents.
Yeah.
60, or I think premium was 68.
And I remember us talking like stuff like, what would you girls feel? Because I want to ask you girls a lot of questions on this. Like, it's so much different than how girls would react nowadays on things compared to what they're a little bit more trusting back then. Because Beth over here said during the movie, like, she would be freaked out if she saw somebody like,
I would think there was some perv. If somebody was offering to pump gas for me, I would be thinking that's some perv.
Yeah. It's just like some weirdo pumping some gas for you. All right, and like, what would you see if some guy just like came up and like, "Hey, I want to pump your gas for you, little lady."
Yeah, I would
You know what I mean?
think some weirdo.
So yeah, so it's definitely a little bit different. Obviously, they had those gas people back in the day, but at this time we kind of meet some of the scumbag crew. One of them was a guy dressed up in like some trucker outfit. All right, there's other guy just like there's this one guy that just refused to wear a shirt the whole time. All right, everybody looks so 80s, and there's this one guy that's wearing suspenders with no underwear. He takes that thing off really quickly. And then the only character's name I got was Matthew during this, but he was the slightly slow guy.
Every time I heard that fucking name, I got all like, I thought, I was like, it sounded like exactly like my mother or something. I was like, motherfucker, what the fuck? It's like, Mom's here? No, oh, God, Jesus
I remember they were like throwing knives, though, at the ground.
Yeah, just.
And I didn't understand, like.
And did you see how they were standing with their legs?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a game or I don't know what they were doing.
I don't know.
Obviously, nothing better to do with their lives than to sit at a gas station throwing knives at the ground.
Pretty much. So
winners.
That's the winner.
So we meet our main character, and her name is Jennifer Hills. All right, she's the main girl when it comes to all this. And like we said before, she's a writer. All right. So she's kind of getting to know the Matthew guy a little bit. They're talking a little back and forth. And then the guys that Matthew is hanging out with, they're all pretty much giving him shit. Basically talking, saying like, "Listen, brother, you gotta get yourself some like poontang or something. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna get nothing ever." And you got one of the guys talking some weird stories about like, "Man, do you think these girls can eat and stuff? Like, do you think they actually poop?"
What?
I think of a real hot chick, and then I wonder if she takes a dump.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Most incredible thing. Most incredible.
Yeah.
Men think about that all the time.
Yeah, they're just out there fishing. It's like, man, is that a man fishing trip? They think about if women poop.
Yeah. Are you in there pooping? Yes.
This was after Matthew delivered her groceries, right?
Yeah.
The retarded guy, he brought her groceries.
Yeah.
And starts asking her if she had a boyfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was asking her why she was there, right? She told him, and he asked her if she had a boyfriend, and she said, "I have many boyfriends."
Yeah, I got
and
many
he
boyfriends.
Said, "Can I be your friend?" And she said, "Yeah."
Well, I think it was also interesting too. He asked her, "Are you here alone?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, she's just giving away everything.
Like, why would you say like, "No, I'm not here alone"?
Yes.
Why?
I got 8,000 bodyguards in the back with AK-47s, brother. You ain't coming near me. So this girl is like I said, this happens a lot, but this girl is very trusting, extremely naive, very trusting and stuff. So the guys are kind of getting themselves all rattled up a little bit. And then we see a scene where the girl is hanging out on like a cot, and then she hears like this motorboat, and this motorboat was just going like all around. You could hear that. I mean, this boat in this movie, you could hear it like all the time, like almost in every scene. It was like, damn. So this boat was going and going and going and stuff.
Like that boat didn't even seem fast at the first time you saw it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, she's doing that other thing later on. So this boat's just like going along.
Yeah, just going all kinds of and then basically what they're doing is they know that they're bothering her, the girl, and stuff. Does that ever happen to some of you girls? You're just laying by the pool and everything, and some dicks come over there in their speedboats and be like, "Yeah, what's up? We're your speedboat guys. How's it going?"
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like, I mean, not maybe by the pool, but not. I wasn't really out in the lake that much.
Oh, okay. Well, be careful with guys with speedboats, as we found out in this movie, because
we found out that ends.
This crazy stuff ends. Basically, what happens is, like I said, we're gonna probably do a quick, quick fast view to this movie. They pretty much go after her. Like they go and like they taunt the girl so much that they kind of scare her a little bit. So she goes back into her house and stuff, and she hears some stuff inside her house, and then she walks out. There's a lot of silent parts in this movie, but it kind of sets up the atmosphere that's about to happen up here pretty soon. So she's basically getting paranoid about this house that she's out there in the middle of the woods, that she pretty much said she was alone to the guy that she thought was innocent, but he brought it back to all of his friends. So all his friends are now just thinking of new ideas of how we're gonna trap and have our way with this girl. All right. So she goes out on a canoe, and this is when all the trouble starts happening. Is this canoe? So when she's out there hanging out in this canoe, the boat comes back and it starts like taunting her again, and taunts her so much that they grab a rope onto the actual canoe and then drive her back. They drive her onto land and stuff, and then from that they just start to just do some major abuse and stuff. So it was at this point in the movie that I remember watching it for the first time, saying like, "Oh shit, this stuff is like pretty, it's kind of disturbing."
I wonder though, like, why didn't she like untie the knot or at least jump out of the boat at some point?
I don't know. I guess she just wasn't thinking. She just like, sometimes maybe when you're in that situation, you don't think people are actually gonna put their hands on you like that happened. So, but basically, what happened was after she was doing that, the guys got a little roughed and they started to rough her around a little bit, and just do some nasty things on here. And of course, this is where it gets kind of serious because none of us like this kind of behavior. It's very bad to have this type of behavior, but for this movie, it sets up.
It's hard to watch, especially with females in the room as well, and it's a very uncomfortable situation. If you're a person that's never done anything like that, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So, like, what did you ladies think about those? I mean, it's the scenes that you get to watch. What did you think about like the impact that it had for the movie? Like, did you know that this girl's like, you could kind of tell like, okay, she's getting beat up right now, she's getting abused, she's getting raped, but I could tell she's gonna be coming back later on, or was it just one of those overpowering things? Because that's what this movie kind of is like. It's trying to show like that women, like, even though you beat them down and you beat them to the dirt and you left them for dead, they'll come back for you and they'll get their revenge, and they'll get their revenge in the hardest way. Did you feel that when you were watching this movie?
I mean,
a little bit.
when I saw that happen, I mean, I think she was just completely tuned out at one point, just like blank.
Yeah, she did black out.
I mean, she just completely
just unconscious.
Yeah, but I mean, even when it was happening, I mean, she was just like breathing. I mean, I can't even imagine like that even happening. But, I think she just kind of regrouped, after it was all said and done. But I'm skipping over it. But
warn some people, like, put a trigger warning on this, that some people should probably not watch this.
Yeah.
People who.
This is pretty
extra sensitive.
Yeah, if you're extra sensitive to any kind of abuse to women or anything like that, definitely. Domestic violence. Yeah, definitely be a little cautious of this movie. All right, so because the way the directors are setting up this movie is basically this girl gets abused, she gets raped, and then she gets raped by almost everybody in the squad, and basically the bad guys, these like heathens, are trying to make this Matthew guy that's a little mentally retarded to trying to have sex with her, and he won't do it. Like, he keeps refusing and stuff. He keeps refusing, and then the whole scene is basically, then they just leave her there for almost dead for a while. All right, and then she picks herself back up and she crawls back, but then she runs into them again, and then bam, and then that's when they really start to treat her bad again.
Well,
right on the rock.
There was like a point though where she just kind of stood there and watched this guy do that. I'm like, she almost like walked towards the harmonica, and I didn't understand that. If you hear a sound in the woods, you're like, I'm getting the hell away from that shit. Yeah. But
well, to her defense, I think she was such in the daze of what just happened that her mind just wasn't thinking, and then she was just going to wherever she could.
Like, when people listen to music, though, they hear certain notes. It's like a deactivating of high alert, maybe, But I'm pretty sure she was like freaked out, but just in a daze.
The daze.
It's none at all.
And I also think it should have been a red flag when she saw that gun in her place. Like, well, what's going on here? Should I be here alone?
And also, too, when she also saw that gun, too, I think she was half of it was thinking, like, should I bring this with me? Just in case. I am out here alone, so.
I'd have that on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, once again, they leave her out there to the woods again. They all just leave after they had their way with her, and then they all head out, and then basically she had to walk from wherever she was or crawl all the way back to her house. So there's like this big dramatic scene of her naked throughout the whole movie and stuff, just covered in blood and dirt and everything, just crawling back to her house. And then when she's in her house, one of the most disturbing scenes I thought in this movie, that's probably gonna make me crack, was when she was about to reach for the phone and got kicked, and then the guys that took her in the forest were actually inside her house now. All right, and they're all surrounding her and stuff, just teasing her and just mocking her and stuff, just like treating her like shit. And they finally forced the Matthew guy to basically do what they've been doing on her. All right. So it kind of just like grinds your gears when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know, even this guy that's like obviously an innocent guy, it's like all this peer pressure from these like sick individuals are just making him do that kind of thing.
Do you really think that about him?
But
he was innocent, but he lost his innocence when he gave into the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my jab at him, is that he remained innocent until he finally went along with it. When he knew, and that's the thing about him, whether you can still go to prison if you knew right from wrong, no matter what.
Exactly. So after they're done, like just destroying this poor Jennifer, they go out and all the gang is telling Matthew, like, hey, we need to finish this girl off, so there's no evidence or anything. But none of them want to put their hands on it because they don't want to be linked to any murder. But they don't give a fuck about this Matthew guy.
Yeah.
So they give him a knife to go kill the girl. And he's worried about it. He's being all kinds of like, just acting like a kid in the corner and stuff. And they finally convince him because I guess he just looks up to these guys as older brothers and stuff. But, you know.
They were his friends. He thought they were his friends and they were the only friends that he had.
Exactly. So this movie just works on so much like weird levels. How like people can act, towards women, how they can try to like cover it up, how they can treat people that are a little bit slow, that don't have any friends, they can kind of manipulate people. But then this movie is also, the biggest thing about this movie is karma, because karma will come back and catch you on the ass, brother.
Like I know I was reading a review once and they said. This movie and another great movie that's a Japanese revenge story called The Lady Snowblood, and that these kinds of films were played with grindhouse films, and it's like they're much gorier, but the stories are like the same, revenge, going to find the person who wronged you and then taking your revenge in the most darkest way possible. Yeah.
And you can see that too. You can see that like Quentin Tarantino's in Kill Bill.
Right.
It's
exactly.
Like not necessarily the exact same, but it's very close to
very
how
close.
This movie
it's in that line with the revenge films.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of the one that I saw. I think it was called I Saw the Devil.
Yes, I love that.
That's a revenge movie.
Yeah,
really
I love it.
Yes.
So
these revenge movies can be very sick at the beginning, but shit is about to happen at the end. So the Matthew guy goes back into Jennifer's loft that she's staying in. And by the way, wherever she was staying was very foresty. I mean, the place is like, very beautiful country
really
place
pretty,
and stuff. Very, very neat looking area. He goes back in there, and she's like basically gone on the floor and stuff, just like traumatized. And he is just figuring out because they told him earlier, like, all you got to do is just stab her in the heart, and that's it. They'll take care of it and stuff. And he's going in there, and like he's like very nervous, won't do it. And then like there you could hear the guy saying, "Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up." So basically, what he does is he take the knife. And he just put the part of the knife on her cheek.
Whacked the blade across the bloody part of her face.
The bloody part of her face. And then he runs out and he gives them to him like, I did it. And they all think, oh, okay, everything's fine now. And they just go away. And then we get a recovery period of the girl.
Yeah.
So basically, during this recovery period, it's basically like syndrome. A lot of stuff could have happened for syndrome from this girl as it comes to like just getting herself back into a right mind. Obviously when something traumatizes you, you got to get yourself back into like the game mode. What do you think was going through her head, everybody?
Well, first she was in the shower going through the initial stages of shock of processing what just happened. Yeah. And then they show her taping what she was writing back together because they'd torn it up in little pieces. She was taping that back together and starting over. And, you know, she's working on that. And as she's healing, I think she's plotting her revenge.
Yeah, it's true. And also, there was also a lot of scenes of her like staring like closely into the mirror and everything, and just like you can see like this like totally new person is reborn in this movie when something like that happens. So right when I saw this, you know some stuff was going down.
And also, there's like a clothing change. Like that's one of the most apparent things that happens. And immediately, she's not like wearing anything. It's cute and sassy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a mean business time. So then we cut back to all the pretty much the trash bag dudes. They're all in the like some like I don't know, cafe or whatever, getting some drinks and stuff. And they're all talking about what happened with this girl and everything. And they're all like making sure like, Matthew, you killed her and everything. He's like, yeah, I did it. But most of them kind of don't believe him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're kind of skeptic of it and stuff.
Like, well, are you lying to us? Or
yeah. And they're all like country bumpkin kind of guys too, like all that stuff.
Bumpkins.
Yeah, so basically they're forcing Matthew to go check her apartment. All right, to go see if she's still there. All right. So when he does that, I guess he's on like a food route. All right. Or you guys can help me out here because remember I didn't get to see everything. He was like on a food route, and then he found out that she's still alive. And then she takes him out to the forest.
I think he actually makes his other two guy friends go check on him.
Oh, okay.
And what they do is they get in the boat and they drive down there, and then they see she's like sitting on it in front of a tree with her bathing suit on. She just like stares at them, and they circle back. They're like, "Oh my God, she's alive!" And they go back to him, and then that's when they beat the crap out of Matthew.
Okay, yeah, that's when they beat the crap out of Matthew.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's when they send Matthew to go talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no. She calls.
She orders her
the grocery store, and she's like, "I would like
because he's the grocery
groceries.
delivery boy," and that's how she first met him.
So
she knew how to bring him to her house that way. So she calls and orders these groceries, and they tell him, "Matthew, go deliver these groceries."
Okay, and then he had like a scared look on his face because he knows he was.
Yeah, he was freaking out when he heard what house it was going to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so before he grabs his bag of groceries, he grabs this knife that was laying next to this block of cheese in case he thought he needed to defend himself. And then he rides his bike to her house with the groceries.
And then from that, she kind of seduces him a little bit. She's
got this sheer white nightgown thing on that's like see-through, and it's got a high split in it.
Very lacy.
It's like very seductive. And she's waiting for him outside. Right, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She sees him and she hollers out, "Matthew!" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he when he saw her, he
Matthew.
That's so funny.
Didn't he drop a
like,
bag
"Oh,
of groceries
you
when
came
he
so
saw
soon."
her?
That's what she said.
And then she starts to lure him out into the woods.
Yes, and that's her thing. She did say that, "Matthew, you came so soon." I'm pretty sure you heard that, Matt. Matt's like, "Why the fuck is that my name?"
That's just horrible.
So she lures him out to the
by the woods
lake.
by the lake.
And then she basically seduces him a little bit.
He's got his knife up in the air, and
Uh-huh.
thinking he's about to have to kill her. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm sorry for what I did. I didn't want to do it. And he's like, I'm gonna have to kill you, I think is what he said. And he said, I wasn't able to before. And she said, you'll be able to do it this time. And she's like getting into his head as she's unbuttoning her nightgown and luring him to her.
And then comes the rope.
Well, at first she actually lets him have sex with her.
Oh, okay.
On the ground.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on her, and then she had this rope in the tree right next to her, ready. Yeah. And she's putting this rope around his neck, and he doesn't even know it's like around his neck. And then she starts pulling it up, and she's got like these superhuman strength.
Yeah, superhuman girl strength.
Yeah,
she's a skinny girl, man. I don't know how he got the guy up there.
I have to say, she is pretty thin.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, she needs a double chicken fried steak with the extra side of mashed potatoes and some biscuits and
everything all at once just to get it going.
Please.
So she ends up hanging her first victim, Matthew, up in this tree. And she basically chokes them all out and just leaves them there for dead, and throws the groceries back into the house as well.
Well, I like how she kind of did like this mind manipulation thing. Instead of just killing him, she seduces him first. And he like gets him comfortable in her presence, and then the second obviously he thinks that everything's going great, she just chokes him to death, which is great. I like that. It's a Black Widow thing.
Because
exactly.
That's a sweet revenge.
Yes.
Yes.
Which brings us to another victim, the bathroom man victim.
Oh yeah, this was the best one.
This was the best one. So refresh my memory of how they actually met first and how she lured him into the house.
She goes down to the gas station and she drives up to him and she gives him like a real kind of smirky glare at him. She's like, "Oh hey, what's going on?" And then he says, "Yeah, I knew you'd like it." And I'm like, "You asshole!"
I know, what a dick.
Oh yeah, I was in the bathroom.
And so she tells him to get in the car. He gets in the car and she drives to like a remote spot and lets him out. And she tells him, she pulls out a gun and she's like, "Get undressed."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I don't like taking direction from women.
I don't take direction from a woman." What a dick.
She blows a.
She shot at
his feet. And he's like, "Damn."
And then he goes on saying like, "Listen, I got a wife. I got some kids."
She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Oh yeah, I know you got kids. I know.
Yeah,
I know
she knew
everything.
Like everything about
that
him.
was later on in the bathroom though when she said that, because first he took her orders and took off his clothes.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there naked on the ground, telling her it was fate. It was because she was showing off her sexy bare legs to him.
Yeah.
And then Matthew saw part of her boobs through her shirt. And then they came across her laying in the boat in her bikini, laying out just waiting for them
He
like
made
it was fate.
He made it seem like it was her fault.
Yeah,
that everything happened.
Yeah, he made
to
it
her.
seem like the girl was taunting all of them.
That's what a narcissist does.
And then that's when you can tell in her eyes, that's when she says, "Nah, this isn't enough."
She was
Get in the car.
That's when she decided the gun was too easy. She she lets him take the gun from her, and then she
seduces him.
She lets him think that she believed him.
She's like,
and that she was
let's go in the car. I'll give you a bath.
Yeah,
she says that. Let me give you a bath.
Randomly, the great stuff.
Randomly, let's get hygienic.
So we go to this house.
Now who's the naive one? Because he went home with her and let her give him a bath.
Exactly.
She was holding a gun to his head, and then he's like, "Okay, yeah, this chick's totally safe and sane.
Yeah, exactly. She's fine now.
Let's go take that bath
together." Hey, nothing can be harmful in a bath, of course. So they're in this bathtub and she's getting all ready, looking all sinister, and he's all talking about stuff, like just being a total dick still.
Well, he was just sitting there talking about himself.
Yeah.
Talking about how great he is.
Yeah.
And
all the other guys little lost puppies.
And
it's like, yeah, they all love me, brother.
Talking himself up.
Then she basically, after a few minutes of talking like that, she gets in the tub with him, and she starts like rubbing the bubbles all over him. Ooh. And caressing him.
Yeah, baby.
And Black Widow strikes. I like that.
Black Widow strikes.
Then she starts caressing something else under the bubbles.
His pecker.
And she's doing that for a few minutes, and he's like closing his eyes now. So then she reaches down.
Every man picture this right now.
She reaches down under the towel by the bathtub and takes the knife that Matthew had stolen from the cheese block.
Why are we delaying the obvious? It's coming.
She takes this knife and she puts it under the water, and she's still, I guess, stroking him, and like she just goes on for a few minutes doing that before then you see like one little jerk, I think, one little jerking motion.
Yeah, I didn't look.
And then he was like, he actually enjoyed this. He goes, "Oh, it feels so good, it hurts."
Yeah, it feels so good, it hurts a little bit, and then you hear this, boop,
and then all of a sudden, the water turns red and there's blood.
And this guy does the biggest scream fest imaginable.
Oh God!
Holy shit! He's like,
and when he stands up and you can see the blood squirting out of his dick, and it looked very familiar. It was like just like something else that
corkscrew massacre, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
I
So
didn't
he-
see this stuff.
So he's
You didn't see it?
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't watch this scene at all because I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay,
Really?
well, I mean, when she starts like rubbing things, I'm like, "Okay, no,
And then
I've signed out. I don't want to see anymore."
that was a lot of blood too.
I heard her line. She was like, the second she saw the fucking knife being picked up, she goes, "Oh no, no,
I don't know.
no."
It ain't happening now.
Because I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I didn't
So basically, she goes out of the bathroom and she locks the door with this guy saying, "It won't stop bleeding."
Yeah.
And she just
he's locked
and
in
she
there.
just goes calmly, sits down, puts on a record, and watches him scream with his record in the back room.
opera.
Oh, so sorry.
A soprano singing quite wildly. I like
Exactly. So we got her second victim. Now on to the third victim
And fourth.
and fourth, because the guys are getting suspicious because of the penis chopper. The guy that got his dick chopped off in the bathroom. He was there with his wife is there with the two kids. And then the only two people were left were their spandex guy and the guy that doesn't even wear a shirt at all. And she was bitching, saying, "He's a good man.
He's a good man.
He's a good father. Were you hungry bonkers out here doing some shit, trying to get some? Where is he? Where's my boy?" All right, and then they get all pissy and shit. Then they jump on the boat and stuff. And then on the boat, that's when they notice she's on the cot again. All right, and then from there they go. We have this big boat battle scene that happens pretty much with like it was like something out of fucking Battlestar boat Galactica stuff, which actually just looked like an Everglades trip. But basically, she got onto her canoe thing, and then one guy got knocked into the water, and she was just taunting him. Like they did to her earlier when she was in the water. They would taunt, like going around circles around a person in the boat. All right, and then she was just giving it so much to this guy, but the guy in suspenders was still on land, and he had a machete, and he was getting so pissed off
Yeah,
that
he had an axe. He was
Yeah,
waving around.
he was waving
actually
around
jumping
stuff.
up and down with it. I'm like, what's
yeah.
he doing?
So this idiot though, like she actually goes and drives the boat into him, and this idiot like drops the axe. He just drops the axe
Immediately.
immediately
Oh, I
on the
don't
boat.
need this. You take it.
It's like he got really scared. He's just like, "Oh shit, you just take it." After wielding this thing for like fucking good 15 minutes of him watching him doing this, is like, God, what a payoff. All right. So then the girl has this, like, she has the motorboat, she has the axe wielding of doom, and this spandex, the guy with this overalls, you know what he does? He just strips right down, butt ass naked, and jumps right into the water.
And let me say that none of these men wear underwear at all.
No, they don't wear any underwear.
No, Matthew had
Matthew,
underwear.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but everyone else,
Fucking
nothing.
commando brother,
Just
going up there. So fucking overall motherfucker goes in there butt ass naked into the water to do God knows what. Probably, he was trying to save his friend, and then for a second over here we thought like they had like a love connection.
Yeah, I really thought they did.
Because like it's either that or he really liked his suspenders and didn't want to get them wet. It was like one of the two.
But he went out there passionately.
Very passionate.
I'm gonna save you.
I'm gonna save you,
Yeah,
brother.
he said, I was like, man, that's
Pantsless.
really that's.
Don't worry, I have a life.
If that's your buddy at work, you'd be like, man, I can't find you. I'm so sorry, but that sounds like
I don't know if I'll
love.
jump out and fucking naked to go get you. And he's like,
Baby, where are you?
hang on to this lifeboat, brother. Calm down. So he goes out there, and then she starts taunting both of them. But then she actually grabs the axe and then smashes it again against. I think
She hacks him in the back.
Yeah, she hacks the guy in the back and shit, and then all blood starts pouring out and shit,
So
all
he's
kinds of crazy
dying.
stuff. So he's dying, and then she pulls up the boat. She stops the boat, and the guy that refuses to wear the shirt during the whole movie is swimming in the water and comes up next to the motor.
He was saying, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'm sorry."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then she lets him think she's having pity on him and maybe gonna save him. And
Yeah, exactly. And then you know what she does? She fucking turns the motor on.
he was hanging
his ass.
on. He was hanging
He was
on to
hanging
the
on
boat
to the
right
motor.
behind the
Yeah.
motor.
And then all his blood just comes up from him and stuff. And
Which
then,
is a real smart.
And then she fucking runs him over, and then she speeds through, and then that's the credits. Very short movie, but very intense.
Very.
It's a very crazy movie. At the beginning, it's all like fucked up. You're just watching shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of uncomfortable actually watching it. I know I was when I first watched it. But then at the end, like you get the payoff at least
you
for
get-
killing all
yeah,
these
you get
fucking
the-
crazy ass. Karma will bite you in your ass and stuff. So very woman empowering movie. What'd you girls think? Would you cut somebody's balls off if they pissed you off?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'd hire a cholo to do it for me. That's how you do that.
That's how you do that. You make that shit happen.
I'd prefer to do it myself.
Yeah. Cut those balls off, brother. Anyway, check out I Spit on Your Grave. It's definitely NC-17. All right.
Yeah.
So we do have I Spit on Your Grave remake version, the 2010 remake. We'll probably be doing that one pretty soon, but we're going to be doing that one in a chronicle order because they made an I Spit on Your Grave 1, 2, and 3. So this is going to be your original I Spit on Your Grave review. But later on, in some coming months, maybe this year, maybe next year, we'll be doing the remake of I Spit on Your Grave with I Spit on Your Grave 1, I Spit on Your Grave 2, and I Spit on Your Grave 3. So it definitely got a popular franchise after this movie because this was one of the movies that helped spawn a lot of like new style of horror. This movie and Last House on the Left.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Mm-hmm. So they're very close-knit films and stuff. And like I said,
are they new movies?
Which one?
The new ones that came out of those.
Yeah, 2010.
Okay, and there's multiples of them.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Just like wow.
Yeah, it's like Blood Beer Soap, everybody. It's awesome. Anyway, this has been The Faces of Fear, Valentine's Day Spectacular Edition. I hope all you lovebirds out there are having a good time. And for all you jackasses, expect that your woman will be bathing you. And if you treated her bad any this year or any other year, expect a knife to chop off your deck. And then she's going to lock the room with you screaming, "It won't stop bleeding." Mm-hmm. Thanks, everybody, and have a happy Valentine's Day.